Hello Aquarius, and welcome to your reading. Before we begin, this could be past, present or future energy, but for me as a reader, the energy truly begins as soon as you are guided towards watching this video. This message will resonate with you if it is meant for you. If it does not resonate, please be sure to check your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter because they are all important regarding love. If you feel divinely guided towards a personal reading with me, that information will also be in the description box below. So let's get started on your energy, Aquarius. We now open ourselves up to the energy that we are about to receive. We are open and accepting of any messages that come through, and we are surrounding ourselves with love and light as we approach this reading together. So now, Aquarius, as I ring the singing bowl, I would just like you to imagine this sound penetrating you and allow this light to flow through you. Perhaps take a long breath in and release. We are ready. Beautiful. One of you just looked at how far you have come and the challenges you have faced, and you felt a little bit exposed there for a second as you allowed that light to penetrate you, and you took a moment then. It's almost like you had some flashes of memories that perhaps were traumatizing or eventful that may have impacted you in some way, and you were trying to let go of that feeling and let go of the images that you associated with that situation, perhaps trying to be present with yourself for a moment and send that love to those past memories that perhaps were lacking love in some way. I felt like I had to mention that because I did feel it, Aquarius. So first I'm going to look at your current situation regarding love and then your partner's current situation regarding love. But do remember that because I am connecting to both of your energies, that this could be vice versa, this could be interchangeable, so take it how it resonates with you and use your intuition to guide you, Aquarius. Current situation regarding love for Aquarius. The first card out for you, Aquarius, is the Eight of Swords. This is a card of feeling as though you have created a self-imposed prison. So if you think of the swords, they do represent intelligence, but they also can represent thoughts and overthinking. And if you look, she is surrounded by these swords, and these swords each represent worries of some kind that perhaps are not manifesting themselves in their life, but they're just overthinking. And as this lady, which I feel is you, as you are overthinking, Aquarius, these swords are penetrating the ground. And when we think of the ground, we think of earth energy, and earth energy is about feeling grounded. So what I'm getting is that this overthinking is making you feel less grounded. It feels like they're penetrating your feelings of security and safeness with a sense of insecurity and instability. And the beautiful aspect of this card is that it is in your head. This is something that you can walk through, and I feel like that's why I'm getting this card, because you're releasing this energy at this time. This person, she may be tied up, she may have a blindfold on, but she can walk, whereas in the other sword cards, they're a little bit more bound, okay, they're a little bit more tied down, but this is telling me that you have that freedom within you to walk through these swords and untie yourself. And it may have not felt that way before, but once you went inside your mind and you used your intuition and your feelings as well. This person has a blindfold on, so she has to go within herself, and once you did follow your intuition, you were able to come to a place of stability. And I'm getting an image of this person taking off the ropes, taking off the blindfold, and pulling these swords out the ground one by one and holding them in the air. And that tells me trust, truth and authenticity, because that is another aspect of air energy. It's about being real and true to yourself and authentic to the world around you. So this person, it's almost as though you transformed each of these worries into something that you could then invest and something that you could learn from, and you turned a challenge into an asset. Actually, that's what I'm getting here. It's as though you held this sword up strong and you made something from this. You made something from this worry. So this overthinking, although it was a self-imposed prison, it's as though you also mapped out the escape route. You also made a meticulously thought through a plan in order to escape from this self-imposed prison, Aquarius. You're coming out of this energy, and my guides are telling me that you're not in this energy anymore. So even though this card did come out, I do usually say moving out of this energy, but I felt also guided to just say that this is not your energy anymore. This is, you have closed this cycle, Aquarius, and you are moving forward and you are victorious. You're holding that sword up and you're doing so with precision. Next card, please. So you're approaching this relationship now. Let's see. One more card, please. Let's keep going. Aquarius, current situation. Yeah, you're approaching this relationship and you're taking the black and the white. So any condition here, any, let's say, metaphorical land that you find yourself traveling through, you're making the most of what you have and using those resources to then plant seeds and grow. This is the Chariot card. So this is the card of moving forward and having this feeling, this urge to move forward and moving forward regardless of the situation that you find yourself in. If anything, it's being able to manifest, it's being in a place of manifestation in any situation. So you may be feeling at times worried again, you may be feeling stressed, but the energy that you have around that now is one of accomplishment. It's an energy where you're taking that and you're moving forward with it and you're becoming successful through this stress. It's almost though the responsibility itself is giving you more motivation. So at this time, my guides are telling me you are unstoppable. There's nothing that's going to really, the only thing that can penetrate you at this time is that love and light that I said about. You're allowing the dark energy. So you see the black here, you're allowing the stress to come in, you're allowing the worry to come in, but you're processing that and you're making light out of it. You're giving yourself clarity. And the reason the Chariot moves forward is because they see the success in the future, they see a wish fulfillment. So we can't see what's in front of this Chariot, but in the cards here, there is a sense here that there will be accomplishment ahead through this responsibility that they're bearing, and this responsibility is a sense of accomplishment as well. So you're aiming for a set path, you're aiming for a goal, and you're moving towards it and taking everything that you can from your surroundings and transforming it into something that has potential. Yes, the Devil card, you're letting go. I wouldn't worry about this card, Aquarius. This is my card where I say letting go immediately. So this is telling me that there was an energy that felt restrictive. There was an energy that was holding you back in some way. And this could be a thought pattern of yours, a process within you that you were going over and over again in your head, and perhaps it was hindering you. But what you're doing now is you're realising that the chains that were around you, so you see these individuals at the bottom of the card, they're chained, they have chains around their neck, but these chains are loose. And you're taking off those chains, and you're realising you can take them off. You have that agency within yourself because this is inside of you. This is a thought pattern, again with that 8 of Swords. And you're moving forward, and through moving forward you see the light, because when you're chained there's a sense here of time could stand still, time could feel like you're not moving forward, time could feel like if anything you're losing aspects of yourself, your time is going slowly because you're not following your potential, you're not going towards your potential, you're not in line with your purpose. And I feel like, Aquarius, you do have a deep sense of purpose in life, and your beliefs and morals are quite innovative, and in order to implement those you need to come from a place of freedom, whether that's in an environment that makes you feel like you are able to be yourself and understand yourself and understand that it resonates with you. Sorry, I've been given an image here of these two individuals moving through, and the chains, they're not taking the chains off, the chains are becoming that light. So that could bear some significance to you, Aquarius, that the chains, they're not just taking those chains off, they're transforming those chains into light. And again, that goes back to that energy of moving through energy that may be low vibrational and actually bringing it up and seeing the potential in that energy and using it and transforming it. So yeah, you're seeing the potential in the future now. My guides just said you always did see the potential, Aquarius. The difference was that you weren't in a place where you could move forward. You weren't in a place where you could provide that potential in the way that you wanted to. Okay, next card please. But this is towards the relationship. So your ultimate goal here, because this is a love reading, is to approach this relationship, and you're doing so from a place of determination and also self-discovery here, I feel like, because if you're coming into your thoughts and you're analysing your thoughts and you're transforming conditions with your thoughts, then you're really growing as a person and knowing yourself and knowing what aligns with you, and coming to a place where you can analyse your beliefs and take out the beliefs that maybe just were there because of stress and worry, and implement the ones that you know are going to be in a vibration of the Chariot. So the next card is the Knight of Cups. These are quite moving cards. So the Knight of Cups, they're steady, they're not too slow, they're not too fast, and they follow their heart, and they do so from a place of authenticity. They're holding this cup, so you're going towards this individual now and you're extending this cup. This is about your feelings and emotions, and you're offering this to them. You're showing a sense of a stable love, a emotionally intelligent stance, and this horse is feeling quite comfortable, I feel. So out of all of this sense of inner conflict, I would say here, back and forth, you've been able to then evaluate how you feel. And I'm hearing that you were following your head and you were trying to analyse the situation and move forward in a way that was quite skillful, and you realised actually that you didn't need that right now. You didn't want to go that way with love. You didn't want it to just be all about your mind and an understanding, because love is complicated, love is deep and abstract, and you decided to just go with the way that you feel, go with your heart and follow your heart on this, because if you took the time to go within yourself and keep analysing, it's that state of analysis paralysis where you wouldn't have moved forward. You would have been in your head for so long that you would have lost the feeling itself. You would have convinced yourself that perhaps you didn't deserve love, or that this wasn't the right time for love, perhaps. And you really do have love to give this individual. This individual means, well, you're extending a cup here. This individual bears great meaning to you. And I keep saying the word bear, but I'm using it in a sense of taking everything on, but as well, bear is a sense of you feel like you can be yourself with this person. You feel like you can expose your heart to this person and be in a place where you share these feelings and you feel them together. You're both present with these feelings, and you have something of value to offer to them, and they have something of value to offer to you, and that's what you appreciate. You appreciate that sense of connection. It's not so much always going to be about that intellectual stimulation. But I do feel, Aquarius, that this is a person that you can grow with. This is a person that is intellectually stimulating, but it was more you, that you were doubting yourself and doubting your own intellect, and then it came to the point where you thought, love isn't just about the mind. Yes, there's a deep understanding there, but the purest form of love is unconditional. So even though you had this sense of self-criticism, and I have to say that Aquarius, you have the air energy. You are that intellectual sign. You are the person that analyses and likes to dig deeper into situations, and perhaps you were just too focused on that side of yourself, and it got to the point where you were just criticising everything that you were doing. Here you see these 10 swords, and these swords are coming out now one by one, and you're releasing this energy. You're releasing the energy of trying again to come to some sort of intellectual understanding of a situation. Perhaps this actually in itself is an intellectual understanding of love, Aquarius. And the more you've tried to understand love, the more confused the more confused you've become. That's what I'm getting. And the more confused you became, the more you've wanted to avoid the topic of love. And that's because your feelings are so intense. You want to follow your heart, but then your feelings, you're analysing them, and then you avoid them. But you've ended this cycle now. You're releasing these swords, and you're healing from this energy. You see this person, they're laying on the ground, they're pinned to the floor because they've been putting themselves in the dark. They've been obscuring the situation, obscuring their ideas of love through questioning it so much. So you're releasing these swords. And the card here that I feel like is quite significant to you, Aquarius, is that Knight of Cups, is that decision that you made to follow your heart on this, to extend your heart. And Know that your feelings and who you are inside yourself, that's enough. My guides are saying that's more than enough, Aquarius. But as well, I feel like this is coming from a place here with the Eight of Swords of something that's self-imposed here. So it's not that I feel like this self-criticism is coming from a place where you have quite high standards of yourself and high expectations of yourself, and you want to convey that. You want to be able to provide that to this individual. So let's have a look at your partner's current situation regarding love. Current situation regarding love, Aquarius partner. Yeah. The Nine of Swords. Your partner is moving away from an energy of feeling quite stressed, feeling quite overwhelmed. You see all of these swords? These are representing fears that are... This is the kind of energy that keeps someone up at night. This is the kind of energy where they felt like they weren't able to function fully. Because I'm getting here a vision of words on a page, and these words are becoming distorted and finally until I can't perceive these words anymore. I'm being guided towards the bed and the details along the side of the bed here. And I'm thinking here this person is going quite far into the details of this relationship. They want to know everything about you, and they feel like they haven't quite got there yet, and they have this urge to. And this urge is leading the way for them quite a bit, and they want you to know that this is deep within them, this is in their energy. They want you to know that they want to understand you, that they're trying to understand you and grow with you. I'm seeing these swords actually as they build up by the side now as truth, as authenticity, and they're worried. I feel like this is coming from a place within them as well with these swords. They're worried that you don't trust them, or they're worried that you don't think they understand you. That's what I'm getting here. But I feel like outside circumstances as well have influenced their ability to provide to this relationship. But they want you to know that they're there for you, but at the same time it either could be that this person is so present with you, is so present with you and attentive that they're quite determined. So perhaps you perceive them as someone that is quite determined to understand you, or it could be the opposite, where they're quite quiet and they're inside themselves looking at you and trying to analyze you and trying to understand you in order to... This isn't for them. This is more so that they feel like you are comfortable with them. Next card, please, for Aquarius, current situation for their partner. They're looking out onto this relationship and they're looking at how far you both have come as individuals and the personal journeys that you have both embarked on, and the expansion, the potential of this journey to come. They're looking out here, you see, onto this horizon, and there's water out there, and the water is about emotions and feelings. The wands are about passion and intuition, and they're following here their intuition, and it's telling them to commit to this relationship. And invest in this relationship, continue to invest in this relationship, because this is going to be emotionally fulfilling, and this is going to be something where you gain higher awareness of your emotional intelligence with one another, and you grow closer to one another and gain that sense of understanding. They feel like they're on a journey of the soul. They feel like they are looking at their world and their personal development, and they've made a decision to embark on a journey of passion here. And now I feel like they're waiting here for their ships to come in. They're waiting here for a higher level of commitment. That's nice. I feel like relationships always have room for development, room for growth, and they're seeing the potential in this relationship. My guides are showing me a vision of an arrow, and this is an arrow of love, and your partner is aiming this at you. Yes, the Ace of Swords, this is my yes card. So this card simply means yes. So if you had a thought in your head at that moment and it was to do with this individual, they're saying that yes, this is true, but this is also a card of them saying yes towards the relationship. They feel like this relationship is authentic, they can trust this relationship. They perhaps have a big idea that they're going to come forward with, as this is the Ace of Swords, and they feel that this is going to be victorious. And here the White Hand, this is coming from a place of a genuine sense of development here. This is the beginning of a new process between you both, and this is intellectual. This is about understanding where they're coming from, and again, they want you to understand. That's what they want. They want you to understand where they're coming from and trust them as a person. So they're taking the moves now in order to show that you can trust them, Aquarius. My guides are drawing me towards the mountains at the bottom of this card. And there's not just one mountain here, there are many. I'm thinking of that term mountains out of molehills, and they're trying to not get overwhelmed with the way they feel here with the Nine of Swords and make small situations into mountains, you know, but perhaps think too much, overthink, and then create a stress, create a worry out of something that's quite simple that perhaps you know, others wouldn't notice. They're just being too, I feel like here they're being so attentive, and they feel like they're being so attentive that it may be to their detriment here. Perhaps they're being so attentive that it's causing them to hold back, or it's causing them to come on too strong. And here again, these mountains, it's saying that no matter how rocky this relationship may be or may become, and I don't think they perceive this relationship as rocky, this relationship is dreamy. I'm thinking of the clear waters here in this card, actually. This is the way they see this relationship. It's emotionally fulfilling. It's smooth, it's harmonious, it aligns with their wishes. This is a wish fulfillment card. But then what I'm getting here is they think that even if this was rocky, even if this situation was in a way stressful, they would go through this with you. They would go through any conditional land, as the Chariot was suggesting on your side, in order to climb that mountain with you and be by your side. Because they know you're honest, they admire that about you. They admire the mutual understanding that you share together. For better or for worse, yes. I'm hearing someone's thoughts here, and it's as though they see you as their ideal partner, Aquarius. That's what I'm getting here with the Three of Wands. They see you as their ideal partner to a point where it stresses them. It makes them overly, really quite stressed out here, actually. And because of that, they're also thinking, well, if you weren't ideal, if you weren't this idea, I have to say idea of perfection, because I'm in their mind here and they're saying perfect, but I'd say this idea of I'll expand on that in a bit, because that was a slip. But if you weren't this idea of perfection, then they would still go to the ends of the earth to, let me show you actually, they would still go to the ends of the earth to pursue this relationship, to grow in this relationship, because they feel like this is a part of their life purpose. Here, the journey of the soul, the personal development, the wands, the passion and the intuition. But I did just say idea of protection instead of, didn't I? And the swords can be an energy of protection. Aquarius, this is all about justice, this is all about balance and duty, and you do think of that duty as justice, don't you, with these swords? And I would say here that they do, because of this sense of them wanting you to understand them and them wanting you to know that they're taking the time to understand you. I feel like that's because they want to be able to provide you with a safe foundation that feels protected, and they want to be, in a sense, like a guardian to you. Yeah. They want to help you heal any situations, any core wounds that you may have experienced in the past. They want to be there for you through that, and any experiences in the future where you feel a sense of isolation, or if you feel a sense of losing yourself in some way, or the pain, internal or external, they feel like, I'll be there. So this isn't happening, Aquarius, but they're in their head about this and they're thinking, I want to be there through anything. And my guides are telling me this is how they love. This is how they love you. They have this inner urge to be there for you and shield you in some way. One of you just said, maybe you don't need to be shielded, and then you questioned yourself and you're back and forth thinking, maybe that would be nice to feel safe. Maybe that would be nice for someone to go to great lengths to make me feel secure and safe. But again, I feel like you're coming to that place within yourself with the Chariots. But this person, they see that no matter what situation there is, whether you're the idea of protection again, so whether you're the idea of perfection or the idea of protection, they're going to be there. The next card for your partner is the Magician. So this is the number one. This is the card of an inception of a thought, that twinkle inside themselves of what is to come. Again, I feel like they're thinking quite deeply about the future here, and they have everything on the table and they're ready to manifest in this relationship. They have their cups, they have their swords, they have their pentacles, they have their wands, and they're holding this up. And that manifestation, they're investing that in you. And this feels quite natural to them. I'm hearing someone say, what would you like, Aquarius? This is that person. What would you like, Aquarius? Would you like a cup? Would you like the emotions and feelings, the unconditional love? Do you want me to give you that? Or would you like the wands? Would you like me to give you passion and creative drive and inspiration and that sense of dreaminess? Or would you like me to provide you with the Pentacles, that sense of stability, security, and long-term, but a little bit more serious and practical? Or would you like that Sword? Would you like me to be honest and trusting and truthful and give you an intelligent conversation, give you that intellectual stimulation? What would you like, Aquarius? And then that infinity sign is them saying that they are unconditionally there for you, in what way they can provide, and they feel like they are in a place of manifestation where they can provide any of these resources, but they just want to know what you would like. You see the nature at the bottom of this card. It's quite natural for them. This isn't so much a responsibility. It's almost as though this is quite just part of who they are, Aquarius, towards you. It's just their natural reaction towards you at this time. Last card, please, for Aquarius. Wow. The last card in your partner's energy for their current situation regarding love, Aquarius, is the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is complete emotional fulfillment, and you see here the stream of cups here. This is overflowing emotion, but this is also a card of wish fulfillment and emotional intelligence. And you see the family. This is about building those foundations based on emotion and growing. That sense of unity and accomplishment in giving love, in being in love. And I feel like here this is saying that their emotions for you are the 10. They are at full capacity, but they're also going to overflow, because remember that each of these cups can represent the Ace of Cups, and that's overflowing emotion. There is no boundary here in this stream. They're seeing family in you. They're seeing that sense of wholesome love. These two individuals, they're holding on to one another. They're not thinking of themselves, they're thinking of both of you as linked. You may have the personal goals, you may have that sense of personal agency, but they see that in life, you keep each other safe. You're there for one another. My guides just gave me a vision of... Actually, let me show you in this card. My guides gave me a vision of the lady in this card falling over, stumbling, and as she did, the man in this card quickly just held her and pulled her up again before she fully fell to the floor. So that's the kind of, you know, that reaction, that's very much innate. That's a reaction that they don't need to think about, they just are that way. It's a natural reaction to you falling. They put their hand out and they pull you back up. Beautiful energy. You are a natural part of their life, because my guides are drawing me to the green dress, and for me, the colour green, it is the heart chakra, that green and pink. But I'm getting here as well, this could be an open heart chakra, but I'm getting here just that sense where they look at you and it's quite a natural part of their life for you to be there. They're quite comfortable here. Ten of Cups, beautiful. So now I've looked at your current situation regarding love and your partner's current situation regarding love. I'm going to now look at how they perceive you, Aquarius, and how you perceive them. How do they perceive you, Aquarius? How do they perceive you? Okay, 2 cards wanted to come out and I'm going to take them both. They both have similar meanings. They're a little bit different, but I will expand on both regardless. We have the Wheel of Fortune and also the Death card. The Death card is a good card again. I wouldn't worry too much about that. So the Wheel of Fortune, this is them feeling like you are divinely guided towards them. So perhaps you're closing cycles in your life, and that's because you have learnt all that you've needed to know from those situations, and now the wheel is turning. You're taking those lessons, and this could be any of the energy. So you may have mastered a cycle of the fire energy, which is about your passion, your drive, your everyday. This could be to do with your swords, which is your intellect. Perhaps you had a deep lesson in to do with your thought process here as well. If we look at your energy, this could be the Pentacles. You could have established yourself and now you're at a point of a safe and secure foundation, or they perceive that within you, Aquarius. Or this could be the water energy. It could be that you're coming to a place of emotional intelligence through growing through those different stages of the cups. So again, that 10, the end of a cycle. And you're moving forward. You're taking the lessons you've learned from what the energy was, whether that be the air, the fire, the water, the earth energy, and you're moving forward. You've learned. You see here the books here at the bottom of this card and the top of this card. And this is true now. You're seeing the truth in these cycles. You're seeing the truth in these situations. You see the sword. A higher level of perspective in your movements forward from this, taking an objective perspective over those situations and gathering and establishing yourself within them, and seeing really what your subjective and personal opinion is within that cycle. So really this relates to the Death card. The Death card is about, again, there's an ending here, there's a transformation occurring here, and you're looking back at these past situations, your reactions to these experiences, your perspectives, perhaps your change in perspective through these experiences, and your interpretation of these experiences through that perspective. And what you're doing here is you're taking what is of a higher vibration, the higher lesson, and you're letting go of any low vibrational energy where perhaps you're letting go of any judgments that perhaps were misguided, and you're withdrawing from those, and you're taking really that open perspective, that higher perspective here with the change, with that Wheel of Fortune card. And you see here how death comes, and as death comes we have these individuals on the ground and they're looking upon death. And they're giving their reasons for going to the next cycle, and they're all coming from different places, different perspectives, but then they all gather together at this point in this death, in this process, in this transformation, and they all go through the same experience in the end, but it's what they take from that experience. And then we have the sun coming up, so clarity. The sun rises after this. So at the end of this cycle, at the beginning of this transformation, the sun is coming up. And the sun is a safe and secure foundation, becoming established through this energy. Representing yourself. I'm seeing the sword here in this card. Ooh, it's not focusing. Maybe that means I should show you again. I'm seeing the sword. I'm seeing the flag in this card, and I'm seeing you saying, this is me. I'm representing myself now for who I am. I may not truly understand who I am yet. That's what I'm getting. I may not truly understand who I am, but I'm still going to move along in a path, in a new journey that is going to be a representation of what I aspire to be. Their perspective of you. So this is your current energy, and this is their perception of your energy. This is their perception of you at this time, Aquarius. Purposeful energy here, because the first two cards are major arcana. See, they are the higher energy of the spread, whereas the minor arcana, say the King of Cups, the Three of Wands here, that's the details. So whatever the minor arcana that comes out next to the major arcana, the overall energy is always more to do with the majors. Okay, that is the purpose, that is the flow through the reading. That is how we interpret the rest of the cards. So the next card is the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is, they see you making a decision at this time. You're at a bit of a crossroads here. You have this blindfold on, and I feel you're using your intellect in order to move forward. They see you analysing a situation deeply and wanting to make the decision that aligns with the objective truth. You're not letting your emotions rule you in this decision, which is interesting, because if we look at your energy, you are following your heart now, because you feel like you've come to a place of analysis paralysis with your thoughts here, with your intellectual stimulation, Aquarius, and you're now deciding just to go with the flow, go with your heart, follow your heart, what your heart is telling you to do, the calling. But still, your partner here, in their perception of you, they see you as the opposite. They see you as blocking your heart in some way. You see that water behind them? You know, closing this energy and going within yourself, and then again thinking, what is the correct approach? What way can I approach this decision? And you're taking more than just your perception and your perspective into consideration. You're also taking on the perspectives of others around you and wanting to make the best decision overall that is going to not only benefit you, but perhaps benefit your partner. Perhaps you're thinking a lot about other people. They feel like you think a lot about other people and their perception of you. And yeah, you're blocked off at this time until you're able to move forward. That's the way they're feeling. I'm being drawn towards the rocks in the ocean in this card. And I'm thinking here, very strong emotions, very hard emotions. They feel like you're sure of yourself. You're quite sure of yourself, but you also hold back. You also like to take everyone else into consideration, or go for some sort of objective opinion in order to weigh out the pros and the cons of a situation, of a decision. But the Two of Swords, the decision that's made from the Two of Swords is one that does align with your inner truth. But then again, it's that idea of justice and duty, of values here. And what gives you clarity is looking at a higher perspective, an overall perspective. That's what they see. So the comment that you make could be, perhaps the information you give them is understandable, but perhaps it's impersonal. They feel like you're not being overly personal with them, you're being more serious with them. That's what I'm getting here. Your decisions, Aquarius, have to relate to your values, and what I'm getting is that your values are not just part of yourself, but part of a greater whole. The next card is the Ten of Wands. You bear quite... You see these wands represent different goals and ambitions that you have in life, and this is the card I like to say is the stress of success. They see that you have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, but this responsibility is hard earned and you take pride in holding all of these wands. This person, they could delegate some of these wands, they could put some of these wands down, but they choose to hold these and walk with these, and as they do, these muscles grow. So this makes you stronger as a person, and they're seeing here actually that this person, you're peeking through these wands. So you could say here, if you look to this one way, that this person is masked. They can't see the way forward because of all this responsibility. But what I'm getting in my vision, and this is what your partner is thinking, is that you find a way. So even when your vision is blocked, you find a way to see through this, and in order to continue, in order to persist on this journey and fulfill all of your purpose and create a stable foundation, a solid foundation from... So this is you having dreams, Aquarius, but you're making them into something that's practical. Okay, the next card is the Ace of Cups. Wow. So we have the Ten of Cups and we have the Ace of Cups in your partner's spread here, because this is how they perceive you. So the last card closing your reading, they see you as being able to offer a love that is overflowing, that is unconditional. It's in its own category here, and if anything, it does not have a category. You see this hand is white, and I'm feeling that sense of white being pure and from a place that is authentic, and this is authentic to them as well. So when they're perceiving you and this white hand, they're thinking this is what I perceive as pure. This is what I perceive as authentic, and they perhaps have a tendency to, again, analyze situations, try and understand situations, and they do see through situations as well, and sometimes they see through situations to their own detriment, where they think, oh, this may not be authentic, this doesn't really align with me, but they look at you, Aquarius, with this white hand, and they see that this does align with them, this love does align with them, because it isn't conditional. This is something that is boundless, and even so, it has the ability here to create a higher stream. So I'm not sure why I said higher stream there, but I did, and what I meant to say is stream. But when I said higher stream, I thought, okay, so they see that the love is already there. It was almost as though you've established this together, or as you've, when you met, there was this instant vibration that you both had for one another, this magnetism. So the stream was there, but then this just keeps building. Yeah. Destiny. That's what your partner believes this is destiny. And you see how this hand is coming from their side. So this is their side of the reading and this is your side. And the hand is extending from their position. You see this? It's extending from their position, reaching out to you in some way, even though this is their perception of you. So they see this love as not only a reflection of you and what you represent, Aquarius, but a representation of them. But again, you're holding that back a little bit. You see, this is what they feel. They feel like perhaps you are holding that back a little bit. Perhaps you've released this energy because the Ace of Cups is here now. I'm seeing a vision here, as I said that, of someone saying here there's more beneath the surface. So as they looked at this card of this person blocking and having this water behind them, they looked at you. So this is your partner. They looked at you and they thought there's more beneath the surface. So here they're thinking that this water for you, these feelings and emotions, they run quite deep, and they're willing to dive into that energy. That's what I'm getting here. They want to. They take pride in being able to understand you. As we saw with the Nine of Swords earlier, with that Three of Wands card. Ace of Swords, yes. How do you perceive your partner, Aquarius? The first card for your partner's energy is the Six of Pentacles. This is someone that, you see this individual, they give to others less fortunate because this is quite a charitable energy. They see the trials and tribulations of others, and their values and morals give them a sense of duty, a sense of empathy to give, to have a stable balance here. You see how they're holding those scales? And they're looking upon the trials and tribulations of others. So you feel like this is quite a fair individual. You think that their morals align with yours. And if they don't quite, the different perspectives you have that you can give to one another do build. They do build upon one another here, because the Sixes, it's about that equal sense of giving and receiving, and the duty of giving and receiving, and growing through that relationship, growing through that energy. So I feel like here you feel like they can offer something to you that is quite stable here with the Pentacles, and long term, but in a way that is going to be fulfilling and really expanding upon your beliefs. That sense of duty, that sense of balance that we've been discussing. They're quite comforting to you. Their willingness to have a balanced relationship with you, their seriousness, the duty that they hold within themselves when it comes to approaching relationships, you find that comforting, because I'm looking at the thickness of their clothes here, and I'm thinking of the comfort of those clothes, and I'm seeing that as a warm feeling. I'm seeing that manifesting as a feeling. You think that people can look up to this individual, people can respect this individual, and you understand where they're coming from in situations. They could be a little bit guarded at this time. They have been through many challenges, and during these challenges they have had some wounds, and the ones are the everyday. They are about your passions and your dreams in life, and you feel like the dreams that they have been pursuing have been hindering them in some way, or perhaps they've been experiencing blockages in approaching their dreams, and you feel like they're releasing this now. So you see how they're holding this wand, that they're at the end of this cycle, and if anything, these are victories now. They're transforming them. They have survived these challenges, and they have grown as a person. They may be a little bit guarded, but there is potential. There is potential now, because they have mastered this energy. They know how it feels to go through situations that feel like they're not in alignment with who they really are. But in the end, they do so because they know that there's a greater purpose to this. They know that there's a higher level of responsibility that they want to get to. And in order to go forward in their dreams, because sometimes they have to do I guess, go through energy that they don't want to, do things that they don't want to do in order to find that balance, in order to get to a place where they can establish themselves. So you're seeing that within them, Aquarius. You admire that about them. This is a card of perseverance. This could be them guarding you as well. I'm noticing how this person holds that wand, and this could be this relationship where they feel like you are part of them, you are part of their world, and they're holding on to you, and they feel a need here to protect you in some way. They feel a need to guard you in some way from the world and your everyday, I guess, trials and tribulations, you know, if this is a case again of the Nine of Wands, you know, and there's great emotion in this and passion when they're doing so. Next card, please, for Aquarius. Your perception of your partner. The next card is the Strength card. The Strength card is, you feel like they are a little bit different from you. This is a lady and a lion. This lady perhaps was far away from this lion and she was observing this lion. She wasn't sure whether she should approach them, but she used her intuition. She used her inner guidance system to trust in herself, trust that this was a secure situation, and she came forward. And when she did, this lion was happy. They made this connection, this instant bond with one another. And you see here the infinity sign. This is rare. This feels like this is a combination that, you know, perhaps wouldn't have happened if she didn't follow her intuition here. So one message I'm getting here is that you approached this individual, you were back and forth about this, and because you were so different, but you saw the attraction in the difference. You liked that sense of being different, that sense of you both having your own the uniqueness within this connection. At first here, and you trusted the situation, and you see that within them. You see that decision that you made, that initial decision to move forward with this individual, and you admire that, and I feel like you're thankful here and you're trusting this. But also, this is a person that you perceive that you can trust. This is a person that creates harmony in situations that otherwise may not have harmony, because there's this certain way about them where they are able to diffuse situations, they are able to calm situations, whether that's through their thinking process or just their approach to these situations. And this makes you feel quite harmonious when you're with them. It's as though the world stops, or the world can be... What I'm getting here is, it's not so much that the world stops, it's that the world can be different with them. You can create your own world, or the world can embrace differences and come together and have its own energy. You see how the lion and the lady, that sense of infusion here, that sense of different ideas coming together. And there's something about that. There's something about cohesion here, that sense of cohesion that feels more eternal to you. So you see this? Through this cohesion of differences, that provides room to grow, because you can grow from one another. You can grow from your different perspectives and evolve together, and that's how growth happens. It doesn't happen through just a straight road where everyone is the same. You feel like this happens through the differences and building from one another's differences. So I feel like that was a message for one of you. And again, that mountain in the background here. And we did see the mountain in the Ace of Swords that is above this card in your partner's energy. That sense of them wanting to go up this mountain with you and share journeys with you. So you're acknowledging that about them, and you're acknowledging the level of trust that this individual bears and holds and provides to you. And again, that's their intention, Aquarius. So I feel like here this is aligning more with their energy, their current energy. The Five of Wands. This is my card of equals coming together, and they're coming together with these wands. These wands represent passions that they have, the journeys, and they're not quite as big as the journey you feel. So the journey they have is quite dreamy. It's a long road ahead. So you see the substantial path that they are taking, the potential of this path as quite great, you see, but they're having to, this is a card of play fighting, and they're play fighting to grow as big as these passions, as big as these wands. But this is my card of personal development, so you want to help them grow, that you feel like they're growing on a personal level, and you see them as equal to you and wanting to grow together in this relationship on this path. And I like this card because I feel like here this tells me that you both have higher ambitions for this relationship that are quite passionate. And you're seeing that. You're seeing growth, you're seeing development, you're seeing the future. You're looking at this in a way, I have to say, Aquarius, that you're seeing the person they could become. You're seeing the person here that they could become, and you're envisioning that for them now. So you're looking at them and you're looking at the most established side of them, and then you're envisioning the journey to that path. And if anything, the journey is more significant than the outcome, and the outcome in itself is something that you still grow from. So once they establish themselves in this way, you feel like, okay, there's another step, there's another step. So even the outcome is not truly determined, right? But you're just choosing to look at them from a growth and potential standpoint. And I don't think that's a bad idea. I feel like that's because you're wanting to grow, Aquarius. You're taking this responsibility, your goals in your life, and you're moving forward with them. So it's only fair that you have that mindset for your partner as well. The last card, please, for how you perceive your partner, Aquarius. How you perceive your partner. How does Aquarius perceive their partner? One more card, please. The King of Wands. This card is the King. This is someone that looks out with that fire energy over the horizon, and this is a future perspective. This person looks out into the future and they have the motivation to get to that place. They have the drive to succeed. They are able to get through challenges in a way that can inspire others. This is the energy of the inspirational speaker. That's the way I like to convey this card with the King of Wands here. So this person could become someone, or is becoming here, because you do see them this way, as someone that can take charge, take the lead, and do so in a way for others, to lead the way for others. Because the King of Wands, they do have a kingdom. All of the kings have a kingdom, and this is more the energy of planning. The kings are the energy of planning, whereas the queens are more about the nurturing aspect of the court cards. So when I see the king, I think, okay, they're planning. And then when I see the King of Wands, I think planning but determined. Perhaps they see this relationship as its own world. They see this relationship and they invest all of themselves into this relationship, because this can be a card of inconsiderate energy. But it's not so much, it doesn't have to be negative. I wouldn't worry too much about that. When I think of the inconsiderate energy, it's more about the way that they can have a tendency here, your partner maybe, to cut other people off or choose to prioritize you over other people around them. Perhaps they neglect other aspects of their life in order to invest all of themselves into this relationship. That's what you're seeing here. And they could be moving away from this energy, but I feel like here I'm seeing this person looking upon you quite determined, and I'm thinking here how they are quite attentive in this relationship, aren't they, Aquarius? A lot of passion to give. I feel like if they do have the tendency to prioritize you over their own commitments. I was going to say over their other commitments, over their own commitments. That could resonate with some of you. Then they don't do it intentionally. It just feels like, again, they're following that fire, they're following that passion, and it's drawing them towards you, and they're wanting to draw you towards them. And at this time, again, I'm feeling that intense drive. So now we're going to go on to the future of this relationship for you. So we've looked at the current situation regarding love. We've looked at their current situation regarding love. We've looked at how they perceive you in this connection and how you perceive them in this connection. And now we're going to go on to the future of this relationship. The future of this relationship for Aquarius and their partner. Wow, that came out straight away. The first card in your future, Aquarius, is the Empress. This is the divine counterpart. This is the feminine energy of the deck. This is the mother of the deck. She also represents unconditional love. She is a creative energy with the frieze, and the stars on her crown represent the zodiac signs here. So she's embodying all of that energy, and she's taking the highest vibration of that energy in order to resurrect something here in this land. She's already has a forest behind her, but she's investing more now, and that comes from a place of unconditional love and understanding here. The Empress, she doesn't have to, unlike the Emperor, she doesn't have to really put work in. She doesn't feel the need to lead, because in herself she just is. She is unconditional love. So this is telling me that, again, this is a love without conditions, and this is you and your partner's energy, the energy of creation. And if we have a look here, this is, the dress here is quite different, isn't it? This dress stands out. So perhaps you're both moving forward in a way that isn't conventional. You know, this is something different in order to create something new here. You're both investing your time, and you're choosing to do so in a way that ignites a flame within you both and create something new out of that flame. You know, this is more, it's not so much a resurrection, it's more like a new direction here. So beautiful energy for the start, the future of this relationship. The next card is the Hermit. So these are two major arcana now, Aquarius. The Hermit is you both taking a step back together, and I feel here this sense of privacy with the Hermit, but also here this is about self-discovery. The Hermit goes within themselves, they go through the dark, and that light that they hold, that's their hopes, that's their dreams, but it's also their intuition and faith for their movements forward. They analyse their emotions and their thoughts, and they bring them to a place and ground them. And they do not come forward, they do not come out of this energy until they have received a higher level of wisdom here. So this is you both growing, but I feel like here this is more about that sense of both of you enjoying your privacy, enjoying your time together, your private time together now. The King of Cups, wow. Okay, I have to say that the King of Cups came out, and it came out here with the Emperor. And because I was going to put the second card back, but then I did take a glimpse and see the Emperor. And as I did so, I knew that that was me being guided towards taking both of these cards out then, because we do have the Empress already here. So the next two cards in the future of this reading for you, Aquarius, are the King of Cups and the Emperor. Let me expand on both. The Emperor is the leader. He has established himself to a point. He has worked his way up here to really have the level of experience here that is reliable and trusted by those around him. So people come to him to lead. They look at him to light the way. So if we have here the Empress and the Emperor, this is the mother and the father. They both have their own roles to play here, but this is a true pair. This is divine counterparts here. So this is again that sense of twin flame energy here, that deeper level of connection where you grow from one another and you learn from one another. But the Emperor is more about the seriousness of this commitment. That is the reliability, the promises that you make. The Emperor does not break any of these promises. The Emperor is serious about his commitments and he follows through with those commitments. See, the Emperor can be more about a fixed energy, so fixed beliefs and values, not really moving or budging. Again, that sense of investing everything into this relationship and being quite stubborn and stern. But then if this is next to the Empress, I'm just picking up that energy from the Emperor, then this is the unconditional love aspect. This is the open-mindedness of the Empress here. She gives birth and it's a creative energy. So it's a creative energy, as abundant, as meaningful, as giving birth here, giving birth to ideas that are going to be substantial in this relationship. So both of them together, it's as though the unconditional love is here, the creative energy is here, but because of how substantial this is, you're both being quite firm about this. You're going within yourselves, you're admiring your privacy, you're at this time in the future, you are feeling a sense of trust and comfort in the privacy that you have with one another, and it's allowing you to get to know one another again and again and understand different perspectives, because people change. So the next card is the King of Cups. People change in relationships, but they choose to perceive one another still. They choose to try and understand one another still. You always grow together. There's no end to this. It's endless. There's a reason why the Ace of Cups came up, as well as the Empress, which both represent unconditional love. It's because love doesn't stop. Growing as a person doesn't stop. Okay, it's a choice to stop understanding someone. It's a choice to stop investing in someone. And when I think of oneness, someone, it's about incorporating that energy and flowing with that energy and growing together. And the King of Cups did come out. The King of Cups works to better themselves every single day. The King of Cups is someone that's emotionally intelligent. So if this is both of you, you're building upon those emotions, and there isn't a sense here of ever reaching a high point. It's again that sense of bettering yourselves every day. And through these waters, when these waters are a little bit more turbulent, this king sits firm on his throne. This throne does not budge, and that's because this is a stable foundation and a solid foundation that this king has built. And it's solid because it's emotionally stable. Those feelings are grounded somewhere. Those feelings are coming from a place of emotional intelligence for one another and truly perceiving and looking into one another. Yeah, that's what I'm getting from these cards. And the King of Cups, he doesn't just build a kingdom for himself. He helps others build kingdoms, because there's a sense of emotional abundance, a giving energy. This is about you both giving to one another. You both have something to give here. The Empress has something to give the Emperor, and the Emperor has something to give the Empress, because they both are different energies, but they come together and they complement one another. So the last card, please, for Aquarius, current situation regarding love. Wow. the next card is the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is... Well, the Pentacles, let's start with the meaning of the Pentacles. As we were talking about that grounding energy, the Pentacles are about long term. It's whatever you perceive as worth as well. And what I like to say is what we perceive as worth is more about our values and morals and the practical nature of those. What we truly believe as worth is really our views and perspectives towards the world as we grow. It's not so much about the physical aspects, it's what we relate to the physical aspects of the world. You know, we could like an object, but it's more so what the object represents to us, you know. So I feel like worth here, it's not so much about money, it's more about that sense that we have, that feeling that we have, the ideas that we have associated with our goals and associated with what we see as long term, so as what we see as practical and physical. So when I'm seeing the King of Pentacles, I'm thinking here you're both coming to a place where you're establishing this long-term energy, you're finding comfort in this long-term energy, and you're feeling quite grounded with one another, and you're open to giving and receiving, having a natural flow of energy. When the King or Queen of Pentacles comes out, I have the need to say this is the ideal, I guess, your idea of a perfect partner. That's what I like to say. And again, there's no such thing as perfect, but then there's an idea of perfect, isn't there? And that idea of perfect can be completely different from the conventional idea of perfect. You know, it's not bound to anything, like I said. So when I see the King of Pentacles here, I'm feeling like that idea of perfect, both of you, if we go back to the beginning, you're both seeing that in one another in your movements forward. So you're looking at the aspects of each other that you like, the aspects of each other that are long term, and you're building upon that. You're investing your time into this relationship. You're working together on this relationship. So we have the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles. The King of Cups, again, that's building. They're both about planning, right? So if we go back to the energy, the Queens are about nurturing, the Kings are about that planning energy. This is about the growth. This is about looking upon situations that you're both in and using that earth energy and using that water energy and using it to build. So we have 3 major arcana in the outcomes. 2 of them are the Emperor and the Empress, and then we have the King of Pentacles and the King of Cups, and we also have the King of Wands in this reading as well. So a lot of kings here, a lot of planning going into this, a lot of work going into this relationship. And now I have written a poem for every card in this deck. So now to close the energy, I pull a card and then I find the poem that I've written that represents this card. Okay, the 4 of Swords, and I read this to you to close the energy. And this is where I take a step back and I allow your intuition to guide you, to take over this reading for you to really get the most out of this energy, Aquarius. So the 4 of Swords is one of my favourite cards. This is a card of appreciation. This is about a pre-made coffin, thinking that you're not going to survive a battle of some kind here, because this is about the knights that would pre-make their coffins before battle, and when they survive, they lay in that coffin. They think of all of the battles that they have overcome and the circumstances that were so close, they didn't think they were going to make it, and they appreciate being able to make it. And now in their movements forward, as they lay in this coffin and really think about what it means to them to be alive, to have survived such a experience, they think, okay, the movements forward that I make, the decisions now that I make, again, a sense of 4 different paths here. The path that I take has to be purposeful, it has to be meaningful, and have a higher level of faith in my life, go towards a higher level of faith in my life. So I like this card, Aquarius, for you, and this is again closing the energy. This is on page 33, so that number may be of significance to you, and the 3 relates back to the Empress as well, Aquarius. I'll read this now. This is a time to step away and take a moment to reflect on what truly deeply matters, being thankful for each step. Reflecting after difficult journeys, taking time to learn and meditate. Building strength now in harmony, this assurance is secure and safe. I love that. This assurance is secure and safe. Let's read that one more time. This is a time to step away and take a moment to reflect on what truly deeply matters, being thankful for each step. Reflecting after difficult journeys, taking time to learn and meditate, building strength now in harmony, this assurance is secure and safe. So what I'm getting here is actually this, what they're guiding me towards in this poem is this assurance is secure and safe. And I'm relating that back to you both releasing this energy, this 10 of Swords energy, this 9 of Swords energy. Here you're both letting go of situations here or thought patterns that may be have a tendency to overthink, have a tendency to, I feel like, put pressure on you both, and you're moving towards an energy here that's quite full, quite wholesome here with the Emperor and the Empress. This is divine counterparts here. So for those of you that want to save this poem, you can pause this video now and take notes and use your intuition on this, analyze this. Perhaps you could write this poem down, and that could then, I guess, solidify the energy. And I don't use grammar or punctuation in these poems because I like the words to flow off the page and reach you in some way. So that's for those of you that do like to spend some time in this energy and analyze this energy a little bit deeper. So thank you for this reading, Aquarius. Remember that I'm just the messenger and this is your energy. This is the story and this is the detail. So now what I'm going to do in the extended is look at the purpose of this energy for you and the purpose of this energy for your partner. And then we're going to pull some poems, and again I'm going to let you analyse them. I'm going to point out some words that stand out to me and we'll work through this together. And beautiful reading as always. I feel the need to show you the Emperor and the Empress, the divine counterparts. I love that they both came out in the future of this reading. The masculine and the feminine coming together. And the Ace of Cups here. Let that focus for you. I love this energy. I'm sending you all of my love and light, Aquarius, and my blessings in your movements forward in this relationship. For those of you that are joining me in the extended, that is an immediate download, and those details will be in the description box below.